Hello guys and welcome in another update, and we're still talking about the front of the Russo-Ukrainian war. Starting out by going on the map here. Starting out, we see that the Russian forces has announced a movement of Wagner forces toward Belgorod. Here, as you can see, the red line will represent the Wagner positions in the region of Belgorod. Also, the Wagnerians claims that the front line, especially in Shibikino, which is came under an attack by the Ukrainians multiple times in the recent days. They are and now this line it is under the responsibility of Wagner, according to Remy. Wagner will move more forces to Belgorod, and maybe they will conduct a future operation in Kharkiv. So moving on to Bakhmut, especially we have heard some news from the area, especially in the south of the city of Bakhmut. There is not a clear informations about a Russians advance in the south of the village of Ivanivsky, but Raimi is confirming a Russian advance by the canal, and they pushed the Ukrainians back behind the canal and also behind this forest area. In other hand, we have seen a new operations next to Volidar. We have heard that there is some kind of counteroffensive has been made by the Ukrainians army, especially toward the village of Priyutne. It looks like the Ukrainians attack testing the Russian defenses in the area. All of us know that the Ukrainians are preparing for a counteroffensive in this area. It called before a spring offensive, but now we are in the summer. I think the Ukrainians will attack around the end of September, same like what happened last year. And the results of this counterattack here made by the Ukrainians, the results has been announced that the attack has been destroyed by the Russian forces, and the Ukrainians went back to them initial positions. Also, we need to mention here that the continuous Ukrainian attack on the region of Belgorod has a specific goal, is to try to push the Russians to move some units from the area of Zaporozhye and the area of Kherson toward Belgorod, and by that the troops numbers in those two regions will be minimized, and the Ukrainians maybe can manage to defeat the rest. But it looks like the Russians know very well the reason of the Ukrainians' attacks on the region of Belgorod, and they did not move any troops from its positions, and they send instead the Wagnerians. And maybe the Wagnerians will make some operations in the region of Kharkiv. And honestly, after seeing what happening in the city of Bakhmut, I think the Wagnerians they can even take the control of the city of Kharkiv. Moving to the front of Kopiansk, according to Wargon zone in Luhansk direction, the Russian units tried to attack in the Makiyivka area with the support of artillery, and they conducted assault operations in various cities, let's say like Novosilovsky. The armed forces of Russian Federations delivered strikes on Bilogorovka, Torsky, Ivanovka, Nevsky, and many other places. As we know, and according to War Zone, the Russian forces took control of the village of Yahidna. The Russian forces took control of this village last week, which is located next to the highway of Svatov Kopiansk. And in the last 2 days, there were a lot of advances by the Russians army on the north of Kopiansk here, especially in the forest area. Also, the Russians has crossed the Oskal River, and they are targeting the supply line, which is connected the city of Kobiansk and the city of Dvorishna. So, according to the latest reports, the Russians in Kuzmivka, which is east of the R07 highway. So now the Russians are trying to control this highway by first taking control of the villages of Nova Silivka, and the next move will be by attacking the village Petropavlivka, and then the Russians will be able to go back to them old positions before the Ukrainians late September 2022 counter-offensive. So now the Russians want to take control of this whole black area, especially east of the Oskal River, and then they will be able to move south toward Lehman, and after that, maybe, or I think according to them plans, they will go toward Sloviansk. And also, without forgetting the Russian troops, they are moving here toward the village of Tursky, and also the Russians, they cannot go direct to Sloviansk unless they take control Siversk. So later, or maybe after many months of the Russian operations, we will see an all-out offensive by the Russians, starting from Bakhmut, Solidar, Seversk, Liman, toward the biggest city in the Donetsk region, which is Sloviansk. Also, without forgetting that the Russians also they have other plans to take control of Konstantinivka and Kramatorsk. So that's it, guys. That was the latest update of today. I would like to remind you I'm really making a huge effort for collecting the news and the updates from various channels and websites and many others social media. So consider to like and subscribe as a way of support of this channel. And of course, thank you very much in advance, and have a good day. Bye.